But he told you and I that
We're live.
Are you live?
we're live.
We're live. Y'all know who this is.
I wore
What are you doing here, man?
my Jordan Triple G shirt for you today.
Yeah, when you gonna bring like a big box of this stuff out here? And let me get in close on that, because that doesn't have like the flag.
No, this has this was the original.
Oh, by the way, I have a PDF of a cover to send to you.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh, when is that cover?
Mr. Golovkin.
Who's on the cover for
Gennady
December?
Golovkin is on the cover.
Nice.
And he's in real good company. I mean, he's front and center. He's big, bold color and everything.
He's on the cover, why?
But because he's pound for pound #1 in the ring's
Okay, that's
mythical
a good reason.
rankings
That's a good
right
reason
there.
to put him on the cover.
Yeah, we got to get a belt. We got to bring back the pound for pound, the ring pound for pound championship belt. Something that they created for the great Pernell Whitaker after the infamous draw with Julio Cesar Chavez in 1993.
It should be like an annual belts.
Yeah, well, he held that title until he lost in somewhat controversial fashion, at least disputed, unanimous decision to Oscar De La Hoya 20 years ago.
All right. Yeah.
In De La Hoya's first welterweight fight. That's a hell of a 147-pound debut, right?
Yeah,
People forget old Oscar, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he'd been in the sport maybe like 6 years, not even 6 years, like 5.5 years.
And Pernell was a legend at that time.
Yes, he was. Yeah, arguably unbeaten in the reigning welterweight champ.
Yeah.
And so Oscar won that, and then he was on the cover of the ring with the ring championship pound for pound belt. Yeah,
with the,
for a while. Yeah, and then they stopped. But I'd like to bring it back. That's something I'd like to bring back. And
as the new editor.
There you go. Nice. These are the kind of bold moves we'll be making in 2018.
I like those moves.
But before the new year, okay? December 9th, are you ready for Las Vegas, the Mandalay Bay?
Salido versus
triple header.
Mickey Roman. That'll be a great fight.
That is the headliner. That's the official headliner.
That's
not the IBF title fight.
That's the Mexican style fight. That's the non-stop action. People just want to see those guys go toe-to-toe.
By the way, somebody in Austria, snowy Austria. Chris
okay.
says, what's up? Greetings.
Nice.
Yeah.
No, that'll be a great action fight. Then Tevin Farmer is.
That's the IBF title fight.
That's the IBF title fight against Ogawa.
Yes.
That's a vacant title, and both guys want to win that championship. So that's be a good fight.
That's the title that Gervonta Tank Davis lost on the scales.
He lost on the scales, exactly.
Am I right about that, JP? I know you keep track of these things.
You are.
Yeah.
I got my Triple
So
G.
Tank Davis is talking Chris. Yeah,
JP's representing today.
I've got my Triple G shirt. This is his unofficial title, the Punisher.
I'm going to jump behind the camera so you and Tom can talk for a bit.
Yeah.
All right, folks. Write in with your questions.
But then
for Doug or Tom.
Then we have that last, just to follow up on that Salido show, is Francisco Vargas is the opening.
Stephen Smith.
Opening fight against Stephen Smith, from this Fighting Smith family.
Swifty Smith.
Yeah.
So there's going to be some Brits in Las Vegas.
Should be a few. Eddie Hearn promised that there's going to be some drunken scousers out there.
Oh, good.
So
I like drunken scousers.
They're
cool.
Vegas.
They're fit. I mean,
they fit in
Vegas needs it. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And then Abel Sanchez is actually flying back from France today. He had 2 more knockouts last night in France. He has a cruiserweight.
Oh, the guy was good. It was a big knockout.
Yeah, it was big. Both third-round knockouts.
Yeah.
I think it was Michel Soro and the cruiserweight.
The cruiserweight has a long last name.
Yeah, I can't pronounce
Gulamarian,
it.
I think.
But he had the knockout. So
we got to give him a nickname.
Abel trains Shafikov.
Yes, and Shafikov is also on that card.
He's on the HBO Latino show.
Yeah.
And Munguia is also on the HBO Latino show.
And Munguia is a Mexican prospect, 21 years old. I've heard lots about him for probably the past 2 years.
Yeah.
He's a welterweight / junior middleweight, and I'm looking forward to watching him live.
That'll be the first time a lot of people see him.
Yeah.
And Shafikov is fighting Rene Alvarado, the guy that dropped Gamboa.
Yeah, and Rene Alvarado
tough guy.
Recently upset an undefeated prospect from Argentina,
Roger Gutierrez.
Yeah, so he's a good. Alvarado is a gatekeeper. He lets you know if you could still.
And Shafikov is all action also, so that'll be a really exciting fight. There's 5 televised fights, 2 on HBO Latino and 3 on the HBO Triple
And as
Header.
usual, it's a lot of promoters coming together now. It's your promotion, but working with you is Zanfer
We're
Promotions.
the licensed promoter, but Zanfer.
There's Golden Boy with Vargas.
DeBella has Tevin Farmer.
Yeah, there's Lou DeBella.
Mr.
Eddie
Honda.
Hearn. Mr. Honda.
Taking Promotions has Ogawa. Yeah,
Nice.
Eddie Hearn has Stephen Smith. So it'll be exciting.
That's what it's about,
Awesome
folks.
card.
Everyone, bring your pieces. Let's play chess or checkers.
Las Vegas,
whatever.
look at the weather we have in today. You guys are wearing your sweatshirts.
Because it's cold in the morning. Today. I know. Yeah, when I leave the house, it's actually
Vegas
cold.
Is,
What's
Vegas
the weather
will be.
like?
It's supposed to be 70 degrees next week. So Lomachenko's already sold out. So
we got so many questions for
Tom. Might as well come out to the Mandalay Bay.
Tom,
we're doing a tribute. Triple G is going to do a tribute to the first responders at Mandalay Bay on Friday night.
Yeah,
and then they jointly invited a lot of them to the fight on Saturday night.
Good,
so it's kind of like a tribute to the community, and to Mandalay, and that's that event center is a great event center.
Yes, it is. Some of the best fights I've ever witnessed took place in that event center, and too many to mention, but the first fight between Eric Morales and Marco Antonio Barrera.
That was there.
That comes to mind.
Obakar,
17 years ago, man.
Obakar
Oscar De La Hoya.
That was the first fight there.
The first fight, the first headliner.
Both Klitschko brothers fought there.
Yep, I remember that.
So,
I think Vladimir fought, was it Charles Shuford?
Fought Shuford, and he fought. That's a good memory.
Yeah, hey, I still got it. Yeah.
Hey, Barbosa Box, keep writing them in, guys.
Brewster.
Yeah.
And Vitali fought Danny Williams there.
Doug,
I was there for that. Yeah,
we got a lot of people.
That's right. Yeah.
Want to run through a few? We got so many questions.
Oh
yeah.
Questions.
A lot of questions.
And we made the announcement for Superfly last night.
Yes,
there it is
on HBO.
And that's going to be at the Forum.
That's going to be
my neighborhood.
Now everyone can come out to the sunny Southern California, February 24th at the Forum.
So you're confident because you're moving. The first show was at StubHub Center, which seats at most 8,000.
Yeah.
And
good morning, Jacob.
The Forum hosts
that was sold out. StubHub was sold out. We did the second highest gate behind Triple G Rubio. We did for Chocolatito when he fought. Chocolatito has a huge fan base. So
you're confident that you can get an even bigger crowd for this second
for two
card.
reasons. I think it's going to be a bigger show. You got the two winners. Estrada had a great win over Cuadras and Rungvisai.
And Estrada is Mexican, so that does help in Southern California.
Right.
Good morning.
Estrada, and we're working on putting Cuadras on also.
Smart.
But a lot of people underestimated Sorungasai, but with the two wins over Chuck. First one was disputed.
Yes.
But the second one, he had a very dominant knockout victory. So those two guys fighting each other, and February 24 at StubHub Outdoors is a little bit risky with the weather. So
yes, that's true.
Forum's a great place. We really like the
No
Forum.
complaints from me.
Forum Club, Tecate will be there, Shivas will be there.
Yeah.
Coffee Agave. So all the sponsors are looking forward to
We
that.
were there the night also. Triple G beat Wade, and Chocolatito had a great fight on the undercard against Arroyo.
That was a sold-out show at the Forum.
If you guys haven't been to the Forum, it's an amazing place in LA. Get to LA. Go the 24th of February. It's going to be Superfly 2. So that's the first question. That is the announcement from last night.
That was the announcement for last night. A lot of people were hoping it would be Triple G Canelo 2. I was hoping also. Dave is convinced that fight's going to happen. We're waiting for Eric Gomez to meet with. They were supposed to meet this week with Canelo, so hopefully we'll get some final confirmation on that fight. I mean, that's the fight that the fans want. That's the fight that Triple G wants. From what I hear, and the Golden Boy says they want it, Tecate wants it, HBO wants it, so now we're just waiting for Canelo's stamp of approval and see how that goes, and that'll be Cinco de Mayo. Madison Square Garden, who hosted Cotto last night in his farewell fight. Unfortunately, he had the torn bicep, and he lost to Saddam Ali, but Madison Square Garden wants that fight, Jerry Jones wants that fight, and Vegas naturally wants that fight back, so. If we can make that fight, that'll be an even. Superfly is a great announcement, but that fight would be an even bigger announcement.
So we got.
I think it's going to be a big 2018.
Hopefully,
just put it that way.
Tom, are you going to keep Shavakov at 130? Barbosa, we are. Okay.
Yeah, Abel Sanchez wanted to drop him down at 130. He had a very close fight with Robert Easter, and he had some of his losses were very close. But at 130, Abel feels he's going to be even stronger than he was at 135, and he's got that swarming style where he just wears guys down. So. He said he'll fight any of those guys on the HBO portion. He'll fight Vargas, he'll fight Tevin Farmer, and he'll fight the winner of Roman and Salido. So
Burchelt. This guy says Burchelt.
And Burchelt. Burchelt's a great champion.
Not forget about Burchelt.
It's a great fight.
Burchelt was the original opponent for not opponent, but was the original guy that was going to be Salido and
Burchelt.
And then Burchelt got injured, but Burchelt is right there.
See, this fight right here, the new main event between Salido and Roman, to me that's more of an even fight.
Yeah,
I can't pick a winner in that. But with Burchelt against Salido, I thought that was going to be Salido's farewell. Because Burchell's just at the peak of his powers right now.
Right. Burchell really
too young, too tall, too rangy, too much athleticism, too much power. I see.
Scalia wants to know, Tom, are we moving Aaron McKenna's debut to the 9th of December?
That's Golden Boy has to answer that.
Golden Boy has to answer that?
But yeah, Robert Diaz did tell some reporters.
Oh, it's a question for Dougie. Okay, for
yeah,
Golden
that they
Boy.
were going to move him to a December 9 show in Vegas. That's the only show that I can think of.
Okay.
So maybe McKenna, maybe the teenage Irish amateur sensation will make his pro debut.
Oh,
in Vegas.
that's the guy whose opponent
fell out.
I heard
That's
about
correct.
that. Yeah, I heard he's got a nice following from Ireland.
Tom, people want to know, they're excited. Oh, sorry, Doug, go ahead.
No, I hope he's got. I want fighters with followings.
Fighters really underestimate when they can sell tickets. It really puts them in a much better position. Even when you're negotiating, people think, okay, I got the TV money on HBO, but if you don't sell tickets, it's half the package.
Yeah.
You know, Triple G's sold out with the last 8 arenas in different countries, different cities, and it just helps with the sponsors, with the gate. You know, we did the 3rd highest gate in boxing history when Triple G fought Canelo in the last fight, and you know, Canelo's done some great numbers, but he's never done anywhere near that. So it really, you know, when you have these guys, especially from overseas, you know, Usyk sells tickets. You know, when you got these guys coming and selling tickets, that's a big part of the equation.
Bring Triple G to Dallas. One day, Javi. One day it will happen. What are Tom's...
We were in Dallas. We were in Dallas for the launch of the Tecate relationship, but we definitely would love to have a fight, whether it's Dallas, San Antonio, Houston. I mean, we really the Texas fans really have been asking for Triple G to come to Texas, so that would be a great. I mean, you can't think of a better atmosphere than 100,000 people in Cowboy Stadium.
True.
Keep writing them in, folks, because I know they're coming fast. If I miss it,
Fast and furious.
Yeah, I will ask them again if you write it again. Okay, I guess some quick one-line answers. Are we working on Yafai for February 24th? Lots of European fans, lots of UK fans.
Yafai was in the mix. It looks like, well, we've been talking to Eddie Hearn. We wanted to do Yafai and Inoue, and it looks like that didn't work out as of now. But Inoue's fighting December 30th.
Right.
And then we'd love to have Inoue back on. He made a huge splash on his HBO debut, and he's become a fan favorite. He's another one that sold a lot of tickets. He sold over 100 floor tickets in his U.S. debut.
That's great.
Over here. So
he's a little rock star.
Is
there enough time for him to come back after December 30th to be on the February card?
We'll see what happens December 30th. But I mean, he'll be in shape, and with the knockouts that he gets, you know, in a way, and he brought 20 Japanese media with him. That's an important part of it.
They were
also.
awesome, man. Seeing his passionate fans was so great.
Yeah, a lot of passionate fans. So we'd love to put Inoue on. We'd love to put Quadras back on. So we'll see how the matchups work out. But just getting back to Yafai, it looks like that didn't work out. We proposed it to Eddie Hearn, but it just seemed like the economics weren't going to work. But Yafai's a champion, and at some point it would be great to have him fight.
The Thais will come out in force for Superfly 2, Tom. LA has the biggest Thai population outside of Asia. When will more of the undercard be announced for Superfly? People are excited.
Hopefully within the next week or two. We wanted to get the main event out there. That was finally finalized with the date and the location. But it's going to be a full show. The last show, I think the last show was the best top-to-bottom show that I've ever been involved with. And we want to put Brian Beloria back on.
Right, he was on Superfly 1.
Sinisa Estrada is a local, very popular fighter. She sold a lot of tickets. George Acosta from Orange County, he sold a lot of tickets. So we'll have an action-packed night that night at the Forum.
People are excited.
Yeah, that'll be one of the best shows, and that'll be a great way to kick off. I mean, they have what is it? They have the January fight at the Forum.
See you guys next week. Take care.
Matisse is going to fight.
Right.
They announced that
not he's fighting a Thai guy. Yeah, that's January 27th.
Yeah.
And there's a title, right? Is there a vacant belt?
Which one is this?
Is there with Lucas Matisse and the
I'd
Thai
have to
guy?
check that. I'd have to check that. Yeah.
Matisse and Linares are fighting in January, but then this February show should be really great.
Tom, big Triple G fan. Any chance you will ever bring a show to Northern California?
You know, we haven't had a.
He's saying not just Triple G, but for any of your
for any
cards.
event, sure. I mean, the Bay Area has great boxing fans also. But I got sidetracked on the Thai community with that last question. That the Thai consulate in LA is 100% supporting Lung Vasai and promoting this fight. So I think we'll see a lot of Thai fans out there. With these type of international shows, it's like a soccer match.
It's true.
The Mexican fans have their Mexican flags. The Thai fans, in a way, had the Japanese flags with them.
True. And it's nothing new, by the way, with Southern California, particularly with the Forum. If you go back previous decades, guys, Mexican stars like Ruben Olivares, they were fighting guys from Japan and other parts of North Asia. Koreans, and also folks from Thailand, not just North Asia. And they came out. As a matter of fact, one of the first major fights that I ever went to as a fan here in the Los Angeles area was Chiquita Gonzalez against Saman Sorjurung. Yeah, he was the guy who was sparked by Finito Lopez in 2 rounds at strawweight. Went up to junior flyweight, won a bunch of fights, got the shot at Chiquita Gonzalez, who was the title holder.
That was a war.
And he knocked him out. It was a war, yeah. The Thai guy went down, then he got up, and he put Chiquita Gonzalez. He actually retired Gonzalez.
Had some great fights.
I think it was like 95 or 96. I don't remember. Range, it was more than 20 years.
Right,
I remember Chiquita Gonzalez and Michael Carbajal. They were the first ones to break that $1 million mark for those.
That's true.
That was a flyweight fight. And,
junior flyweight.
Or junior flyweight, And so this is kind of like carrying on that form legacy of these.
But I remember a lot of Thai fans supporting Sorjatturong.
Thailand's had some tremendous boxers, and now I'm hearing that Sistraket, because of his success, because he's a world champion now, has really rejuvenated the Thai boxers as far the sport of boxing in Thailand, as far as motivating kids to get into boxing. What do we got, JP?
Did Tom and Doug meet at the track today, or is this a coincidence? This seems to happen often. They both work out here.
I didn't call or text Tom.
This is a Sunday morning ritual for Doug, for Coach, for JP, and I just kind of come out.
Tom is being gracious with his time and giving us some thoughts for the fans. That's what he's doing, because he likes communicating with you guys.
JP and I did run before we did this Periscope. We did.
JP is the expert on anyone that wants to know any betting questions. JP's the expert on that.
Write them in.
I want to know the particulars about.
You had a good pick on the UFC fight last night.
Okay, so you won with UFC.
We won with UFC.
Did you bet at all on Cotto Ali?
I left it alone, but Tom and I talked about the odds.
You were smart about leaving it alone. I thought Cotto was going to win that fight.
Yeah.
I really think if he didn't tear his, you can't take anything away from Saddam Ali. I mean, we had Saddam Ali on the Klitschko-Jennings fight at the Garden.
Okay.
I think that was his first kind of like big arena fight.
Yeah, and he looked really good. He beat somebody.
He looked good in that fight, and that was kind of like his coming out party. And then, when you can beat a legend like Miguel, I tend to believe that if Miguel didn't tear his bicep in the 7th round, he probably should have won that fight.
I had Cotto winning 7 rounds to 5.
Oh, you did?
Even with that late rounds fade. I didn't score every round for Ali after round 8. I actually scored round 9 for Cotto, and I admit it was close.
Yeah.
And I think maybe Ali threw more punches in that round, but I thought Cotto's punches were a little harder quality, and he was aggressive in spots. And then actually, I thought that Cotto kind of went out there and earned the final round as well.
Well, to answer your question, Doug,
and that's why he won. Otherwise, it would have been 7-5 for Ali, and I could see a draw as well.
Saddam Ali, I looked it up at the Greek.
Yeah.
Was available at plus 1,000. So people that don't know, right before the fight, $100 would have won you 1,000 Ali.
Yeah,
so this was a huge upset.
Yeah.
And only one person left me a message yesterday. I want to give you credit. Dean Familton left me a message around 5 p.m. yesterday, said to take Ali. So Dean, you got it right.
Dean knows his boxing.
Probably the best bet would have been the over on that fight.
Yeah, the over. Right. Well, see, everyone. Here's the thing: a fighter gets knocked out, and people write him off for the rest of his career. And it's the dumbest thing ever.
Yeah.
It's stupid.
You're right, Doug. That was the score.
And listen, I understood the fans' disappointment with Cotto's last fight being against Saddam Ali, because Ali's not a name, and all these other potential opponents they were hoping to see Cotto fight, they fell out for whatever reason. Those fights weren't able to be made. But I thought, and this is not revisionist history. You guys can go and check out various videos that I've done prior to this fight. I thought as long as Ali didn't get clipped early, once he got into his rhythm, difficult style for a 37-year-old dude who likes his opponents to come right at him. Ali's a stick and move guy.
Hand speed. he had the hand
the speed, the accuracy, and the lateral movement. Old guys don't want to hunt the guy
and to
down.
his credit, he didn't come to lose. He came in the fight.
He didn't come to lose. He rose to the occasion. You know, that's the main event in Madison Square
He
Garden.
looked good. He's taller and rangier than Cotto. He looked good carrying more weight than Cotto. He weighed in heavier, and he looked great.
Andre Rozier had a good game plan.
That's Dave's man, Andre
Rozier.
Rozier.
Dave's
Coach
man.
Dave loves that guy.
And that was the heaviest weight that Stam Ali's ever fought at.
Didn't he look good, though?
But he looked good. He looked good.
He carried it really well.
Yeah,
Coach, if you're watching this, because I know you're traveling this week, Andre Rozier got it done for you. That's your man. Okay, guys, I'll ask him several things here. Tom, what are your thoughts on? Several people want to know your thoughts on Charlo as a mandatory for Triple G eventually.
Jermell Charlo is a great up-and-coming guy. You know, he has a lot of dominant wins. He beat Julian Williams at 154, and now he moved up to 160. He beat Highland, which, you know, Highland has been at #1 for a long time, but he really was, you know, just kind of a shell of himself. But, you know, look, if Charlo has some great wins at 160, I think that's a great fight. That's you know, Charlo's from the Texas area, so. That's,
there you
go.
You know, that's
and Triple G tossed his name out there when we had our interview with him.
Interesting.
It was Halloween morning, as a matter of fact. Triple G tossed out Charlo's name.
Triple G will fight anybody.
Yeah.
Tom, do you think Canelo is waiting on the result of Lemieux BJS?
It's hard to say. I mean, he was in Europe, so. You know, apparently that's where the delay is that you know, Eric wants to sit down face to face with him and see about just hammering all the details. So hopefully we get that done quickly, and then we can go from there. I mean, it's clearly the biggest fight that Canelo can be in right now. So that's what we're looking forward to do.
We got a lot of fans of Quadras, and Tom answered that they are working on it.
Trying to put Quadras on. Yeah, Carlos Quadras has become a fan favorite on both on HBO and is another fighter that sells tickets.
Yeah,
the Mexican fans really come out to support Carlos Quadras.
Quadras is a guy who talks the talk and walks the walk.
Got a lot of fans on here.
Great, he had a great fight, a very close fight against Chocolatito.
Yeah.
Then if he didn't get dropped against Estrada, that would have been probably it might have even been a draw if he didn't.
Yeah, I had the fight even in rounds. The difference in that fight
was the knockdown.
I had Estrada winning by like a point or two.
So Quadras would be a
great
addition, and
Quadras has a technical decision over Sorumba.
Yeah, in Mexico.
Yeah.
This guy says, Tom, thanks for putting Quadras on. He hasn't given us a bad fight on TV yet.
That's right. That's what I told Peter Nelson at HBO. I said, look, he
emailed Peter Nelson.
He lost a very close fight to Chocolatito.
Yeah.
He lost a very close fight to Estrada. So, you know, how can you know, with that action style? So we're looking at trying to put Quadras back on.
All right. So this guy wants to know, tough question, Prime Hagler versus Prime Triple G at middleweight.
You know, we get that question a lot, and it's really, you know, we have so much respect for Marvin Hagler. I mean, they have a lot of similarities when they were coming up. They were so avoided. Hagler was really avoided because he was beating everybody, and the same thing with Gennady. We couldn't get one of the champions in the ring with them. We couldn't get Felix Strem to fight him. You know, Sergio Martinez, the timing was off. Peter Cohen, when he had the WBO title, we couldn't make that fight. So it was just really a bizarre situation where, you know, you couldn't get one of the bigger names in the ring, and then same thing with Hagler. That one's hard to call. I mean, Gennady, you know, he had a string of 23 knockouts in a row. He was so dominant, you know, even against quality guys, Martin Murray, guys that people didn't want to fight, Martin Murray, Daniel Giel, all these, you know, very solid guys. And Hagler, you can't take anything away from Marvin Hagler. He's one of my favorite boxers of all time. So, you know, I have respect for both.
Style-wise, even though Hagler was often fought out of a southpaw stance, they were similar in that they were technical. Yeah. They were technicians, boxer, puncher, technicians that like to walk their opponents down.
And they both did it the hard way.
I'll ask him.
And they would routinely outwork younger opponents over the distance, and that's something.
That's another interesting one. These guys want to know Gerald McClellan in his prime versus Triple G. Good fight.
Yeah, Gerald McClellan was another one of my favorite fighters. Yeah, that guy could punch. That guy could really punch. They probably have similar punching power with.
Tom, if Inoue moves to 118, would you still be interested in bringing him to the U.S. and promoting him? Good question.
Sure. I mean, his promoter is Ohashi in Ohashi Promotions in Japan. But again, the splash that he made in his last fight, you know, if he wins this fight December 30th, if we can put him on the Superfly 2 show, then you know, he's one of those guys that just his future is wide open. You know, he sells tickets, he has the media attention. I think he could be really that Japanese superstar, especially if he moves up.
He's awesome.
From 115, 118. You know, with his style.
Japan is a boxing nation. Boxing is a popular television sport in Japan. There's never been a crossover fan from Japan in the U.S. Maybe the Monster is the first.
He could be the one that opens those doors.
Yeah. Or at least he opens the door for the next.
We were talking before you started the camera. They've got 2 big cards on the 30th and 31st of December, which is a tradition in Japan.
Yes.
The New Way is on the 30th.
New Year's
and they've got
Day,
a unification bout.
And Murata is fighting.
Right.
I don't know if Murata. I don't think Murata's fighting on those shows, but Murata just won the WBA kind of junior title.
Right.
And he had a good win over Endam.
Yeah.
So Murata has become extremely popular in Japan also, and he's the middleweight division. So that would be a great matchup with. I told Mr. Honda and Bob Arum we'd go to Japan to fight him over at the Tokyo
Oh man,
Dome.
that would be awesome.
That would be huge.
1 year from now.
That would be a big fight. Yeah, it could be.
Yeah,
that could be the end of
December
next
30,
year.
December 31st.
That would be incredible.
That would be a great
It says,
fight.
Tom, I love that shirt. Yes, he's answered this before. They're working on it. They're working on it.
We're working on Jordan producing more Triple G.
Every week, Tom.
We're in a paradox, and people blame me. But, you know, Gennady has become not only one of the biggest ticket sellers, but also one of the biggest merchandise sellers. We broke the record at Madison Square Garden for merchandise sales for a boxing event, and also at the Forum, and also at StubHub.
Yeah.
We broke the record. So we're working with Jordan to produce more merchandise, especially for the holidays.
This guy says he actually loves the gray one I have on. You can get this one. Check Triple G shop on Twitter, and also I think in Vegas maybe.
Yeah, we'll have Triple G gear up there at the Salido fight in Vegas because Gennady will be up there, and so at the Mandalay Bay at the event center and in the Mandalay shop. Some people might go to Vegas just to buy Triple G merchandise.
Hey, yeah.
You know, that's happened. That's happened before. So yeah, we'll definitely have Triple G merchandise up in Vegas.
So this week they announced Dorticus and Gassev's fight date, but this question is, Tom, any input on the Latvian date yet for Usyk?
Nothing's been official, but I have heard it'll go to Latvia. I'm hearing it's going to be late January. I think January 27 is what they're talking about. But you know, I think that we're waiting for the official announcement from the World Boxing Super Series. But that'll be great. Both those fights are great fights. I think I really think the finals in that fight is going to be Usyk versus Gassiev. That's
awesome.
a tremendous matchup. But Usyk, technically, there's probably, you know, he's right up there with the best. He won the Olympic championship. He won his world title in Poland.
Thank you, Barbosa.
In his 10th fight. So he's a tremendous fighter. And then Gassiev with Abel Sanchez is probably, he gets stronger every fight. So there you have someone with great technique against raw punching power, and that'll be a great matchup.
Tom, when you think of Gassiev and the 2 fights in France yesterday, Abel's on a roll.
He's on a big roll, yeah. I mean, Abel, it's not just, you know, people know him from Triple G, but when he had Terry Norris, he had so many champions. Miguel Angel Gonzalez.
Yeah.
He had up there. He had so many. Orlin Norris. I think he's had 14 world champions. But you know, Abel is one of those guys that just the work he does. Sergey Boychuk is fighting actually on Roy Engelbrecht's show 2 days before any of the local LA fight fans, especially down in Orange County. That'll be on December 7th on a Thursday. Sergey Boychuk, he's a tall, lanky welterweight.
Yeah.
Don't miss him. He's a real up and coming guy. But Abel really, whatever he does up there in Big Bear, he just seems to get the punching power out of these guys.
Part of the system.
Yeah, part of the system.
Okay, we got 3 more questions. Thank you so much, Tom, for answering so many of them. This guy wants to know. Well, it's more of a statement. Well, it's a question. What round is Triple G going to make Canelo a good boy in the rematch?
Look, you know, Canelo won 12 rounds with Gennady. I mean, he was a lot more defensive than we had expected. We've never seen him move that much, you know, over 12 rounds in a fight. You know, a lot of people say, you know, Gennady missed more punches than he's ever missed against Canelo, but we've never seen Canelo move for 12 rounds. So you got to have respect for going 12 rounds with Triple G. We thought he won. We thought he won 8 rounds to 4, but you know, the judges, you know, we have to live with the decision. They had it a draw, so that's why I think there's even more, because of the draw. There's even more of a push for a rematch, just to get get a clear decision. But I think for Canelo, going 12 rounds, I think that's got to give him confidence. And now he's going to make adjustments. Triple G's going to make adjustments. So it's always interesting. The rematch are always interesting to see who makes the better adjustments. Naturally, Gennady's the older fighter, the bigger puncher. Canelo has fast hands, moves well in the ring. So it's one of those. But it was a very exciting. It was one of those super fights that lived up to the billing in the ring.
Good morning, Mexico. This says Tom Loeffler. My Spanish is pretty good, so it says
translate for us?
Yeah, saludados de Mexico. Salutations from Mexico. We love Triple G. All right.
Triple G loves Mexico and the Mexican fans. We had a great trip down there in Mexico. We were at the Azteca Stadium.
Yeah.
And he got people were chanting his name, and then we visited Children's Hospital over there, and he got an award for the governor of the area there of Mexico City. So it's really he has a strong connection with the Mexican fans. He fights in the style that they appreciate. Abel Sanchez is from Mexico, and he taught him the Mexican style. And so, Abel's, that's the other thing, Doug, that Abel instills in his fighters. He says, look, people pay hard-earned money to buy a ticket or to buy a pay-per-view to watch you fight. You have to entertain them.
Yeah.
And so, he instills on them. Sometimes Gennady has to take some risks, but it turns into an exciting fight. I mean, he's had some tricky styles, like Proxa was a very slick southpaw. Yep. He was a European champion. That could have been an ugly fight. Willie Monroe could have been a very ugly
very
fight.
Tough, yeah.
You saw Monroe just win 12 rounds with
BJ
Joe Saunders. Yeah. So even against ugly styles, Gennady makes it an exciting fight because he takes chances, and that's what the fans appreciate. They know when they're going to go to a Triple G fight, he's never been in a boring fight, and that's why he sells out arenas all over the world.
I promise I'll ask. You guys are just writing a lot of questions. So, Doug and Tom, quick predictions for Swifty Smith versus Francisco Vargas. Good fight.
It's hard to call. I wouldn't bet on that fight because Vargas has the size and the power and the technique, but he hasn't fought since January, and that was a punishing fight.
Yeah.
And his fight prior to that was the punishing draw against Salido.
Right.
And his fight prior to that was the fight of the year war with Takashi Miura.
Odds will be close, I think.
Now Salido's on his way out. Miura is retired.
Yeah.
These kind of fights, they shorten your career. He's had surgery on his face, but who knows what's going to happen.
I'm going to go with Swifty, but it could be close.
See, Swifty's busy.
Very close.
He gets in there and he hustles.
Yeah.
And he's been to the big dance a couple times before and just fell short.
Right.
So you learn and get stronger. If those type of setbacks don't break you mentally, it makes you stronger. And he's a fighter. He comes from a fighting family.
Right.
He's going to bring it. I don't know who to pick in that fight, to be quite honest. I don't know I don't know how good Smith's chin is, because I do know that Vargas can punch and he's very accurate. But there's got to be ring rust. Has not fought since January.
Yeah.
I think that's what it comes down to, Doug. I think Vargas, I would lean towards Vargas, but you don't know how he's going to come out. Like you said, that those fights can take a lot out of him. And then Smith, you can't underestimate the heart that he brings, and it's going to be in Las Vegas. It's going to be on HBO, so Stephen Smith's definitely going to be motivated. So that's one of those are one of those fights that the people don't know what the outcome's going to be, and that's why they want to either watch it on TV or watch it.
If you want to bet an underdog, and I'm assuming Smith is the underdog.
I think so. There's no odds yet.
On it. I'd put a C note or two.
I think the odds are going to be kind of close, but I don't know. The odds aren't out yet, but I could see it being Smith the slight underdog.
I would say he'd be the underdog only because Vargas is better known over here, so that's why maybe the odds would favor Vargas, but. So you can't count Smith out of that fight.
Tom, there's some confusion here. A few people saying, let me try that again. Did Tecate dump Canelo for Gennady?
No.
That is what.
Why drop one for the other when you can have both?
More money.
They wanted to get involved with two of the most marketable fighters. So,
there you go.
So they were or they are sponsoring Canelo's fights and Canelo personally. Personal services agreement, and they have been sponsoring Gennady's fights. We just signed a personal services deal with Tecate as well. So those are the two fighters, Triple G and Canelo, are the two fighters that Tecate has a personal services deal with. So they're guaranteed. If we do the rematch, they're guaranteed to be with the winner of the rematch.
That's smart.
That goes. Yeah.
Smart move.
Very smart. Yeah.
Okay, I promise I'll ask him. This guy says, please. He wants to know your guys' thoughts on Tyson Fury. Lots of UK fans.
Well, Tyson Fury is another guy that
brings
out a lot of fans. You know,
Lots of fans.
He has some controversial things, but look, you can't take anything. He did go to. Look, I've been working with Vladimir Klitschko for since 2004. We formed the company in 2003, and then since 2004 was the first fight we promoted with Vitaly against Corey Sanders at Staples Center. But for Tyson Fury to go to Germany, and Vladimir was unbeatable at that time. I mean, the odds on his fights. Yeah. And he was fighting, you know, #1 contenders and mandatories, and it was always, 8-1, 10-1, 12-1, just because he was so dominant. You know, Vladimir has had such a historic run as a heavyweight division and champion, and then for Tyson Fury to go to Germany and beat him. I mean, he was the first one to beat him. Anthony Joshua, that was a tremendous fight at Wembley Stadium. But you gotta give Tyson Fury a lot of credit. I mean, he's a big guy. You see now he's back in training, losing weight, but for a big guy,
he's got talent.
Big guy that moves around like
he's
that.
He's worth a lot of money over there. People like him.
He's got great hands.
Here's the thing about
and long arms.
I think the movement and the fact that he's a switch hitter.
Yeah.
He's so rangy and he moves so well.
In the ring, right?
Yeah, he moves so well in the ring for a big guy.
Yeah.
He's difficult to beat, and I think if a motivated and in shape Fury can beat both Joshua and Deontay Wilder. I really do. Now, having said that, you know, as editor of Ring Magazine, his inactivity has put us in a precarious position here. We know that, you know, there's been injuries. We know that he had some mental issues or whatever. His license was taken, and he's been jerked around on the hearing or whatever. But it's been 2 years since he's fought. He never defended his title. And
so he's a lineal champion, but
he's lineal, but
your
we
dilemma
can't.
Is how long can you keep him?
It's not fair to the other guy. It's not fair to Anthony Joshua. It's not fair to Deontay Wilder. It's not fair to Joseph Parker. Any top 3 or 4 heavyweight that dreams of fighting for the Ring Magazine title, it's not fair to them that he continues to hold this belt. And
the best thing is Tyson's in training, and if he gets back in the ring, then you know, he'll answer a lot of questions.
We can't take away the fact that he beat the man who beat the man. He beat the last undisputed champ. So he is the lineal champ. But I think the ring title, I think we got to vacate it, man.
He's going to be lineal emeritus pretty soon, until he comes
Well, here's the thing. Even if you're the lineal champ, if you're not fighting and there's some other badass out there that collects all the belts and becomes the undisputed champion, a new lineage begins. That's happened before.
So thank you guys so much for all the questions. We did about 35 minutes with Tom. You guys wrote in great questions. We're going to sum up the schedule here. I'll ask one more comment, one more question, and then we'll summarize what's going on. The last question, the last comment is, and Coach Dave's gone over this. Tom, how do you keep so cool and calm? We get that once a week.
I tell you, in boxing it's not easy. There's so many colorful personalities in boxing and people yelling at each other, and you know, I just try to stay positive. You know, I try to put on the best fights with the guys. You know, it was easy with Triple G because he's willing to fight anyone. That's another thing with Tyson Fury. He's not afraid. Not only is he tall and fast, and he's not afraid to fight anyone.
He's confident. It's not just brashness.
He's very confident. He's not intimidated by anyone, and that's a big part of it. Gennady has that character. Characteristics. He'll go to different countries and fight different people, and you know, a lot of fighters don't do that. A lot of fighters stay in one city, one country, and I think that's what really takes, you know, for a world champion, you really have to define the world. You know, you can't. That's
part of the reason Muhammad Ali was
such a Las Vegas champion.
Yeah, Ali was
American champion.
Yeah, Ali was a global icon.
Right, absolutely.
Not just because of his talent and his accomplishments and his personality outside of the ring. It's the fact that he fought in the UK. He fought in Asia,
Japan, the Philippines,
Indonesia,
Zaire,
Africa.
Yeah.
And when's the last time a heavyweight champion fought in that many continents?
Muhammad was a special guy. You know, he's one of those guys just in the social setting that he came up with.
Yeah.
You know, representing the U.S., winning a gold medal, and then not being able to eat in certain restaurants in his, you know, where he's growing up is just it's really, you can't really fathom what some of the athletes are going through today. What guys like Muhammad went through, and then, you You know, we worked. I had the honor to work with them probably for about 6 years, and we did the appearance when the Will Smith film came out.
Okay.
On Ali, and still got goosebumps when I think about it. But we did his premiere in Germany, in a small city called Riesa, and they wanted to put their stamp on the world, saying, okay, we're going to do the premiere here in our city. And Muhammad. We had a long day, he had a lot of appearances, things like that, and we'd come back to the hotel. It was late, it was like 11 o'clock at night, and the jet lag and everything like that. And everyone was tired, and Lonnie, his wife, went up to the room, and she was like pretty much begging him or dragging him to come with the room. And the whole lobby was just lined up with people, fans crying, like, you know, I was watching your fight at 4 o'clock in the morning, and you're my idol, and you're my hero. And he wouldn't go. He was just signing autographs. That's another lesson to the fighters, to the stars today, is that, you know, when a fan asks for a picture or an autograph, is like, you know, you can make their day by just taking 10 seconds out of your day. You
can also make a fan for life.
Fan for
life.
life.
You make that connection.
And Muhammad,
in person, it sticks with them for life.
He stayed down there literally for about an hour signing autographs. He wasn't getting paid extra for that. He wanted to have that connection to the fans because he understood that his career was based on the fans, and that's another characteristic with the Triple G. When we were in Mexico in the airports or when we were going through the hotel, and, you know, he would sign, you know, autographs and photos, and that makes a huge difference to, you know, guys that sometimes just like run through it. And he had a great saying. He's like, I've worked my whole life to be famous. Why would I, when I am famous, why would I then hide from the fans? You know, and that's you know, Ali is really a special. Just an icon of what he's accomplished.
What's amazing about Gennady is you see, because you've sold out so many places now around the world, you jump on this Periscope for 30 minutes, people from the UK say they love him, people from Mexico say they love him.
Australia.
Everywhere on here, from all over the world, people are jumping on who are Triple G.
There you go.
Even like me now because of Triple G.
There you go.
That's right.
We got people coming from Australia, they say they've been to every fight. They always pre-order tickets.
Yeah.
And speaking about tickets, the Superfly tickets will be going on sale soon.
That was a question.
We'll make an announcement. We're going to do a pre-sale. We got orders already coming in. Either the end of this week, maybe the beginning of next week, we'll have the announcement on social media when the pre-sale is going to be. And by the time the tickets go on sale, I think we'll be able to announce at least one more of the HBO fights, which will be exciting.
The last question, and I can answer this. This guy says, guys, is Rigondeaux really an underdog versus Lomachenko? Yes. Yes, he is.
Lomachenko is at the top of his game, and I mean, he does have the loss to Salido in his second professional fight, but I mean, Rigondeaux is a tremendously talented technical fighter. He's one that hasn't really pleased the fans with his style, but he seems to be very effective in the ring. I think you got to give the edge to Lomachenko because of the size. You know, people were criticizing. I got to go back to the Triple G situation for a minute. You know, people were criticizing Kell Brook for moving up 2 divisions to fight Gennady, and you know, and it's almost like they're pushing Rigo to move up 2 divisions to fight Lomachenko. It's a great fight. It's a great matchup. It sold out the theater at Madison Square Garden, so you see the fans react to it. ESPN is really getting behind that, so they should have great ratings for that fight. But you got to make it's hard to pick against Lomachenko, really against anyone at this point.
They want to know, Doug, you going to be in Vegas or New York?
Vegas.
Las Vegas.
I'll be in Las Vegas.
Las
New York
Vegas.
is sold out, so we're going to be in Las Vegas where the sun is shining and where there's going to be Mexican.
I want to see action.
Fighting.
I want to see a lot of good bouts.
Shows,
not one high-level chess match.
Yeah,
I want to see a lot of good fights, and I'm gonna.
I heard a lot of people are going to be in Vegas and they'll be streaming the ESPN fights on.
There you go. You can do both.
Yeah.
So, to sum it up, thank you guys for all your questions. That's this weekend, December 9th, Mandalay Bay.
Yeah.
Get your tickets. It's on HBO.
The doors open at 3 o'clock, so we're going to have another full program of together with Golden Boy, with Zanfer. Zanfer is actually, we're the licensed promoter. Zanfer is the promoter of Salido. Do you recognize the guy that was, I don't know, he must be a boxing
Australian
fan.
guy, boxing fan. Australia is a huge market.
Okay, yeah. So
is he Australian?
I don't know.
I couldn't
We'll
tell.
find out on the way
I don't have my
around.
glasses.
So-
I thought maybe that was the Australian flag on his head.
It's nice to be, you know, it's like Abel. You know, Abel has been doing this for so long, and now it's like finally people are giving him credit because of the success he's had with Triple G, but he's had success with so many fighters.
Been around for a long time.
Really been
Tom Loeffler, I hope Triple G knocks them all out and
We hope
makes
so too.
and makes millions. We do too.
We hope so too. When we can take the decision out of the judge's hands, it makes everything a lot easier for for it. But
and Tom just answered that. Superfly 2, I know you guys are excited. Soon. The tickets soon.
Soon, yeah. Either the end of this week or beginning of next week. But like I said, there's a lot of demand for that fight already, for that show. And we will announce for at least one more HBO fight by the time the tickets go on sale. So the fans know, they'll get a flavor of exactly what they're going to get. But the last Superfly, we had such a great reaction. I think everyone that went to the StubHub last time is going to come out to the Forum this time, and the Forum has a bigger capacity, so we really expect a tremendous atmosphere at the Forum.
So for you guys asking, the announcement was it's the Forum February 24th.
Yes.
That is the date for
Officially,
Superfly 2.
Sister Cat Sorungasai against Juan Francisco Gaito Estrada.
Fight of the year.
Yeah.
Gotta be.
There's no way it's not going to be a good fight. Yeah.
I mean, for those of you that didn't,
I slightly favor Estrada in that fight.
You do?
Slightly, yeah. I like
Interesting.
the technician.
That's another fight.
Very hard to pick because Sorungasai, he's at the height of his confidence.
I think
he's got
I agree
a
with
wealth
you, Doug.
of experience, but so does
I'm going to
Estrada.
officially
But that
go
power,
against the two experts.
speed and power.
I'm going with, I think, I mean, I got a lot of respect for Estrada, what he did against having a quality win against Cuadras, and technically he's a tremendous, I would say he'd have the advantage on the technical skills and his boxing ability.
Right.
With Sorungasai, it just seems like since he won that title, you know, and they say a lot of champions, once they become a world champion, they just elevate their game.
True.
And it seems like Sister Kit.
And by the way, it's not his first rodeo. He was champion before.
His first rodeo. Yeah. So,
he actually, that's who Cuadras beat to get the title. It
Right.
should have been an immediate rematch, but Cuadras didn't get in there.
It just seems
with
like
him
his confidence and his punching
Yeah.
power. But that's what makes it a great thing. I'm picking Rungasai, and you guys are both picking Estrada, so that's where the fans are in for a treat.
Yeah.
And if
that's
you guys,
that's an all-action fight.
If you guys weren't at the first Superfly, you watched that on TV, I'm telling you, go in there. It's like nothing. It was one of the best fight cards I've ever been to. Like I said, every seat from the opening was filled. So get there on the 24th to the Forum.
Great energy there at the StubHub.
Can't miss.
Center. Now at the Forum, you know, you got the Forum Club. You got it's going to bring back the glory days of the Forum with, like you said, with Chiquita Gonzalez and all the great warriors that fought there.
People are really excited and writing in. And then hopefully Triple G Canelo soon. We're waiting
Hopefully
on Canelo.
we have that announcement soon too.
Everyone wanted that.
It's not on our side. So yeah, you know, we have a good relationship with Golden Boy, so we're just waiting for them to sit down with Canelo, and hopefully we can work out all the details, and then we'll have a big announcement. You know, we'd love to have it before the holidays so that we could start promoting that fight as soon as possible.
Tom Loeffler, where can I send my resume? They're not taking any at the moment.
Not yet, but we're looking at actually starting to do a club show also.
Awesome.
There's so many fighters because of the success we had with Triple G and the Klitschko's and Chocolatito and you know, a lot of fighters want to sign with us. So now we're looking at starting a local club show here in LA. So
Sweet.
So we'll have details on that also. That'll probably be after the Superfly show. That'll probably be in March. So we'll definitely start publicizing that. But that'll give us a vehicle to develop fighters, because we've never really had that gap, to be able to bridge the gap between HBO fighters and then developing bigger guys on the undercard.
That's
so
so important.
This will give guys an opportunity to stay busy and then, you know, sell tickets and then get to a level where they can be on HBO.
Exactly.
Canelo and
That rematch against Canelo, let's get it done. You look at one of those cholos.
We're working on it.
Go.
there we go.
There's
Everywhere
your Sunday motivation right there, man.
we got Triple G and
That's better
Canelo
than a cup of
fans.
Now I'm motivated. Now
Shit, let me make some calls.
We got Triple G and Canelo fans everywhere Tom goes. People want to see this rematch. This guy wants to know, Dougie Fisher, why is Canelo taking so much time? This dude is making it slow.
Because he's a 27-year-old multi-millionaire, and he doesn't want anyone to tell him what to do. He's the star, so he's going to take his sweet time. He's on vacation. That's what I'm on my European vacation. I'm going to do what I want to do. I don't want anyone to bug me.
Yeah.
When I want to talk business, I'll talk business, and he's the boss.
We'll get the fight.
The thing is, Eric and I could have been already promoting the show while those guys are on vacation. We could have been promoting the show.
Yeah, but guys, you know, once you have that kind of star, great thing about
I think
Triple
Canelo's
G
on
is
his own time.
his mentality is, hey, I'm a fighter.
Yeah.
He will tell you that over, hey, dude, I'm a fighter, and I'm a fight fan.
Yeah.
And other guys, they start out that way, and then at some point, yo, I'm a star. And once you have that mentality, like, I'm a star, then...
He just likes to fight. He likes to train, which a lot of, it's a paradox. You know, a lot of fighters, they hate training camp. They don't want to go away from their families. They don't, you know, they have children.
They want to spend their money.
And Gennady loves being in Big Bear. He loves the solitude up there. And he's with Abel Sanchez, and his brother Max comes in, and he really likes that. He likes training. He likes fighting. I mean,
but here's the thing.
Combination
Canelo, boxing fans are impatient, though. Canelo is... You know, listen, if he had any doubts about himself, hopefully he answered them going 12 rounds with Golovkin. He's never shied away from a challenge during his career. You can't point somewhere at 154 pounds and say, well, you avoided that guy.
Right.
You didn't fight that dude or whatever.
He fought Lara,
you know?
and
right.
He fought Austin Trout.
He fought Austin Trout when Trout was
really
undefeated.
there,
You know what I mean? So it's not like he's looking to avoid a loss or anything like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He has a loss from Mayweather.
He took a lot. One thing he did take a lot of heat from when he was a WBC champion, and then he vacated the title and started fighting Triple G. But, you know, a year later he did fight.
Exactly.
A year later
it was 1 year, and then he fought the man at middleweight. Right. So it's like... I think it's going to happen, okay? And if it happens in May, that means it's an immediate rematch. Fight fans, quit bitching. I know you hate him, and that's fine to hate him. You know, root for Triple G, but, you know, it cracks me up. Everyone's like, what rounds are going to get knocked out? And I'm like...
A lot of people love Canelo, too.
Some guys who are upset about the first fight. I mean, obviously, you got to be pissed off about the Adelaide Bird card.
Yes.
But there are some people who were just pissed off that Canelo didn't get knocked the F out. And it's like... Give him credit. You know what I mean? Yeah, he moved more than we've ever seen him move.
He took the fight, and
he fought well though.
And he fought.
And by the way, that wasn't a shock. That wasn't the kid can fight, and he knows it. This is his prime. I don't think he wants to squander his prime.
Sure.
So he's got a lot of pride.
They're going to make the right decision.
Listen, when Golovkin is in Mexico and the whole country is like saying, you're the man, you're the man, you're the man. He may say on record, oh, that doesn't bother me, and good for him.
On ESPN, Deportes down there.
Exactly. On some level, though, he's like, shit, I got to get my country back.
Guys, everyone writing in, I know you're writing in from all over the world. I'm as excited about it as you are. We love Canelo. We love Triple G. We want the fight. I was upset about the first result, too. We're going to get it. Don't worry. It's going to happen eventually, I promise.
Well, this is a fight, really, and I said this before the first fight. I think this is a matchup between two guys in their prime that's not only two times, I think it really could be a trilogy. I think you can't expect anything else in the rematch besides another close fight. I mean, one guy...
Their styles may just mesh in that way.
There's one punch that Gennady threw, I think it was the fourth round, where he missed by about 2 inches. If he landed that one, it would have been over. But besides that, it was, it was kind of give and take. And again, the way I scored, for the aggressor coming forward, throwing more punches, I thought Gennady won the majority of the rounds. But Canelo, I think Canelo is the younger guy, so the rematch, you got to look at Canelo having whatever success he had in the first fight. You got to figure he's going to have more success in the second fight. So I think it gets even closer.
What I'm so excited about, Tom, just watching people's response is, Mayweather and McGregor happened in August, and people don't talk about it anymore. It went away. But for months now, people ask me at work or wherever I go, "You're a boxing fan?" Triple G and Canelo. People have been asking me. The fight was in September. We're talking now on December 3rd. People have been asking me about this for months. People were in love with that fight. They rewind it. They watch it. They want the rematch. This is going to be huge.
And Golovkin crossed over with that fight too. It's not just hardcore fans or just boxing fans. Now sports fans know about Gennady Golovkin.
True.
And that's why the rematch is going to be even bigger.
ESPN, the magazine, they did a huge article with Ramona Shelbourne. She was up in the camp for 2 days. Actually, twice she was up there.
She called me.
They did a huge article on him. And he's on the cover of Ring magazine now. So for the second time.
Yeah, there will be more. We'll make up for lost time in 2018.
And really, with the sponsors, with Jordan, with Hublot, with Chivas, with Tecate, with Bijan. I mean, he's really. That's another important thing just to remember with the fighters. Just a small piece of advice: if you can get sponsors behind you, that makes everything a lot easier. If you can get paid for putting a patch on your shorts or doing a commercial or doing an appearance, that's a lot better than getting hit in the face for 12 rounds. So if you can get that extra money, if you can maximize with ticket sales, TV ratings, and sponsorships, That's the secret as far as really getting to the next level. Mayweather did that, you know, masterfully as far as selling pay-per-views, but it takes a complete package.
Barbosa Box says, thank you, Tom and Doug, for the show. Really appreciate it. You're welcome,
This
guys.
is turning into the Sunday weekly show.
That's right. We enjoy it. We enjoy it. Thank you so much for your time, Tom.
We love
One of
being
these
here.
days we got to join you on the track, Tom.
We missed the coach. We missed the coach. He's like the anchor of the show.
That's
He's
right.
the most passionate boxing fan. He loves the club shows. He's going to be our consultant for the club series.
There you go. He knows.
And drive like you just won the lottery. That's his famous. That's statement.
True.
That's
Hey,
right.
especially
No texting and no
holiday
phone.
season.
Yeah.
Because everyone's
No
out
drinking,
there, they're
eggnog.
rushing, right?
Yeah.
They're rushing about to stores and all that, and they're
Be
more
careful,
distracted.
folks.
Yeah. Seriously,
Please.
it's crazy, especially in LA.
If Coach was here, he would say, please, put the phone down, pull over to have the
100%.
conversation.
Yeah.
And Coach will be with us, hopefully.
Shout out to Coach Dave.
Yeah, hopefully Coach Dave will be with us next week. We hope.
We hope.
Yeah.
See. And Doug, you're out of town next week.
You know what? I'm going to be gone for a while
And
because I'm
Tom,
going to be
you'll
in
be- I'll be gone
Vegas
for a while,
next
too.
Sunday,
Yeah.
and then I'm going to be in Montreal or Laval
Okay.
for the Lemieux Saunders show.
fight.
Yeah, I'm
that
going
has
to
a
be
big-
doing that international.
That has a big
broadcast.
implication
But-
on the middleweight division.
But Doug
Yeah.
and Mr. Loeffler will be in Las Vegas next
That's
Saturday
right.
night.
That's right. Maybe
Mandalay Bay.
we do an impromptu show
there we
from
go.
Las Vegas.
There you go.
Mandalay
I'll
Bay.
start up. I was doing daily dialogues from the Canelo
That was good.
and Triple
Those
G
were
from
great.
Las
They're
Vegas. So
awesome.
I think I'll start that up this week when I land up there in Mandalay Bay.
So guys, follow Tom's Twitter, check out Daily Logs, and follow Doug on Twitter and Periscope.
Yeah.
And we'll see what happens. Salido, Roman, this Saturday night, Superfly, February 24th. Triple G Canelo, according to Coach.
Hopefully,
Hopefully, May 5th.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, guys. Thanks, Tom. Thanks,
you.
Dougie. I'm so bad at stopping
Yeah.
it.
It's the X.
Hit it again. Hit it again.
Oh yeah, how you doing?
Everyone, this guy can't. Oh yes.
Kazakhstan.
Right.
Yeah, it's a huge inspiration because I'm an immigrant from Kazakhstan. I'm a Kazakh citizen.
How long?